Hello, welcome to McBoss Capital channel. My name is Michael Chu. We're going to cover the growth stocks list that I follow for the week ending February 20th, 2026. So for this week, we only have 4 days of trading. IBD, the signal is still around 40 to 60% allocation, which generally, in my opinion, is usually in the neutral zone, a little bit under pressure, meaning we are seeing distribution. Like this week, we see 7 on Nasdaq and 6 on S&P up to on Thursday. However, I think one of them was removed on Friday, but still a very high number. So we have seen distribution days in the last few weeks actually. But the market is, choppy. It's still holding on. We talk about that in our main market video. Make sure you watch that. Probably the biggest thing is we do see equal weight S&P showing strength, making a new recent close, new high close. So that is very promising. You can see the accumulation here on stocks versus distribution. 227 versus 191. 191 is very close, even though we are a little bit more accumulated, show more accumulation, which means higher in price in higher volume this week. On the industry group side, we also see slightly more accumulation than distribution. On the sector side, we see technology still underwhelming, net neutral, net distribution. We have 38 more stocks than the accumulation. So that's still on the negative side. We do see a little bit of retail, industrial, and commercial. Health are barely neutral. Commodities are mostly energy, but I'm seeing some gold and even some silver is bouncing back. And then financial has been weak as well lately. So it hasn't shown any net accumulation in the last 7 sessions. So for the stocks list that I follow, the growth stocks list, I'm tracking the ones that have already reported versus the one that hasn't reported. So on the right is the ones that have reported. The ones on the left here is the ones that hasn't reported yet. Out of roughly 365 stocks that have reported, we are at about 40% roughly that are still in uptrend, which is very similar to last week's Friday close. So nothing too much has changed, which is not a bad thing because this, like I said, this week, we see some turbulence and the market was able to hold on, and we'll see some of the stocks are still trending really nicely. And then on the stocks that hasn't reported yet, we also at 42%. Last week we were at 38%. So actually some slight improvement even for the stocks that hasn't reported. So again, not too bad. We're still seeing some momentum on some growth stocks. So definitely worth tracking this list here. Hello, here's the spreadsheet with my growth stock list. On the first column here, we have the ranking based on performance, the price performance since January 6th. That's when most of the stocks hasn't reported yet, and as that time rolls, obviously right now it's February 21st. It's been over 6 weeks now, and so a lot of stocks have reported. And that's the price performance here. So that's how it's ranked, and we see that whether they're in uptrend based on the short-term, short-term 10 and 21-day moving average, and whether they're in a downtrend or neutral within 1%. Here's the highest date, meaning the highest price, which was when was the last time it hit the highest price, based on this time frame. And again, February 20th would be Friday and end of day. So these are some stocks that are hitting new highs here. On this 2 column here, we see the industry group and sector. So that gives a perspective on what is leading. We are still seeing a lot of technology stocks at the top here, despite what's happening with the software. Of course, a lot of these are not software. None of this is software. So there's still some tech stocks that are leading the market. And they're dominating actually in the top 20 here. You can see that very clearly. We're seeing some energy commodities area. A few of them in the blue. We're seeing a lot of light green, which is industrial as well. There's a lot industrial. Actually, industrial probably have the most stocks right now in uptrend. So you can continue to see lots of stock. Retail are very weak at this moment. There's not much in the top 30. Here's the first one we see here. And same thing with financial. There's not too many in the financial area. And also health has also been, not too many are in the health. So really, industrials and technology continue to lead, and maybe materials and commodities related stuff and energy can be also coming up. But I don't have many energy stocks just because a lot of energy stocks don't have the strong fundamentals I'm looking for. We did cover XLE ETF in the main market video. Please watch that. It's definitely trending very nicely. That's an alternative way to investing in energy stocks. So ranked number one, we have ICHR in the electrical semiconductor equipment group. So we are going to start looking at this group first, and there's all the stocks here. So this is ICO Holdings, ICHR. This chart looks really good since the earnings result. It has been climbing really nice here. Then we start to go sideways. So again, we didn't really pull back to the green line here, which is the 10-day moving average. So that is the slope of this uptrend at this moment. And then we bounce and we make new high on Friday. And volume has been pretty consistently high on the up days as well. So that shows a lot of support on this momentum. Next, we have Advanced Energy, AEIS, also making new high. This is also come out of earnings and jump up here, and then again very similar chart. We kind of went sideways, come down a little bit, but the 10-day it never touched it, and then we're now making new high once again. Also, volume looks pretty good on the upside as well compared to the downside. Here's form factor. It did pull back recently. Friday it tried to bounce. Looks pretty good. Volume is higher than the last 3 days when it fell. And also notice it never really closed at the bottom range on those days that were down. This is MKSI also pulling back recently and then bounced nicely here on Friday on higher volume than previous day. This is Integris, ENTG, also recently pulled back, and then we start bouncing off the 10-day here. And so far, we are able to continue to make higher highs and higher lows. So it looks pretty good on Friday as well. Applied Materials, this one looking very strong, make a new closing high on Friday, and also never came close on this pullback here to the green line, which is the 10-day here. So the slope is very strong right now. Here's ASML. It's been a little bit turbulent recently. Again, it did fall below the 10-day, but then so this week we were able to bounce back, and now we are probably near the closing high, very close. Yeah. So it might continue to break out from here. Very similar chart here. LRCX, Lam Research, also been turbulent lately, but did bounce off Friday and make a new closing high, recent high here as well. So we're very close to breaking out to all-time high. Another related group in the semiconductor manufacturing, we have rank 20 MTSI here, and the associate related stocks in the same group as well. Some of these are in downtrend, but the upper half here, there's the ones that are in uptrend. And we'll start with MTSI. This is Maycom Tech Solutions. It's been rising very slowly, riding the 10-day. It hasn't dropped below the 10-day since this day on the earnings day. But Friday it did pull back to the lower range. So that's not a good sign, but we'll see if it can hold on to that low there. Next, we have ASX that went up really sharply after the earnings. Then it pulled back, mostly sideways action as it come closer to the 10-day. And on Friday, we actually bounced. So it never touched the 10-day. I like that signal. Those are usually signify technical strength, and you can see the volume has been high on the upside as well. Next, we have DIOD also gap up on earnings, but since that day it was really extended. It has pulled back all the way to 10-day. It actually dropped below 10-day on that Thursday here before bouncing back to sit slightly above it. And then on Friday we again came back down, and then it was able to climb back as well. So that's 2 days of test. So far it has passed the test on trying to hold this 10-day moving average here. Here's STM's electronics here. This is the big base here forming, and so far it's been very turbulent. It break out and then it pull back right there. It touches the 10-day and bounce, and then recently on Thursday it again didn't come to the 10-day line this time, and then Friday it bounced. So maybe this time it will work. We'll see. Here's Analog Devices. This is a really nice stock. It has been climbing despite all the turbulence in the market. This stock just keep climbing. And then here we see some little bit of acceleration on the earnings, and then even then it's still able to hold. Thursday it didn't fall further, obeying, just holding on to 10-day. Right now, it feels like the slope is changing on the 10 days, so it could be rising much faster. And Friday, it did make a new high, so that is very good and close at the top as well. And then we also have TSM, which we cover in the main market video. Next, rank 60, also in the related group in the semiconductor fabless technology here, we have Empower in the uptrend, rank number 60. This is the daily chart for monolithic power systems. You can see we have been digesting as well after the recent breakout. The earnings did not help too much. It was a pullback right after. And then we are holding the 10-day. You can see recently we just didn't want to go under it. And then on Friday, we're able to make a new recent high close here. So that might be a good potential here that it can continue to break out. Here's LSCC, Lattice Semiconductor, also recently gap out on earnings and then pull back. And then we also have a bounce on Fridays, which is very strong. It was able to close higher than in the last 3 sessions. We have ARM Holdings here also bouncing after the earnings. And then it's now trying to find support at the 10-day, the green line here. And so far, it's been able to find support there. And from there, Friday, we did try to move up again, but then it closed at the bottom range. Volume is, however, much lower, so we'll see if support can continue to come in and push this higher. Next group here, we have rank number 2, LITE, Lumentum in the fiber optics. There's not many stocks in this group. Lumentum, which has been one of the strongest leader in the last probably 6 months here, has been running really strong, and this recent run was very strong here. The last sell was here, and I was able to buy it back on this big bounce day right off the 10-day, the green line right here. And then we were able to add more right here as well, around the 600 mark. And then right now it continued to run higher. This stock is spectacular. It obviously is, very extended, but when a leader runs, they can run till the last breath of the stock market rally. So being a leader is very important, and this has shown that it's ranked number 2 for a reason. Another stock in this group is VIAV. VIAV is the symbol, and this one also recently run, very strong, and then it started to move sideways, pull back and move sideways. It found support here on Friday. Finally, after 3 days of just trading really tight here this week, and then on Friday it came out on much higher volume. So we are very close to coming to new highs again. So we'll see if that happens. CIEN is reporting in 12 days. Sorry. This one has also trying to move up recently. It did find support here, and then now it's making new high again once again. Another technology group that has been showing lots of strength is rank number 3 here in the data storage group. This is SanDisk. So SanDisk has this huge run right here and pull back, and from there we bounce back. Again, it didn't work the first time, bounce, and then pull back once more. Right now it's looking to bounce again. So far we are 3 up days, and we were able to close pretty much in the middle of this range here from the top. So maybe we'll see if we can come across the middle area here. Western Digital also very choppy recently. Lots of, it's still making new highs and pulling back, making higher lows. The uptrend is still intact. Here's the green line, the 10-day moving average. On Friday, it did pull back. Thursday and Friday, it pulled back, so we'll see if it can find support here. This is Silicon Motion, SIMO. This one is also pulling back recently right here. And then this week we did bounce back above the 10-day moving average around this level. Again, it's not the strongest, technical action. The RS rating is at best kind of moving slightly higher, but not much. So given that the market was, showing more strength in other groups, I think it's better to focus on other groups. But this is still, a strong group that has been leading for a while. Maybe it will move out. We'll see. They're not that far from the high. So, and here's MU Micron, very similar. This is very similar to SIMO. Pull back, bounce, and then pull back once more. Right now it's trying to come out, and this one is slightly above the middle range, so this looks a lot better, right? Of this base here. So we'll see, and volume is higher on the upside as well. Next tech group with ranking number 9 is RNG, making a new high. This is the computer software enterprise group. Again, software has been hit hard recently, and but surprisingly, there is a couple of stocks here that are doing well. This is Ring Central. It report earnings this Thursday or Friday, and it jumped out in the morning and closed really strong, up 34%. Next, we have Global Online, also in the enterprise software group here. This one is trying to come out the red line, which is the 50-day moving average. It did climb back above the short-term moving average. So right now, we will see if it can eventually pass through the red line here. We also have Shopify, SOHP here, bouncing back this week after a volatile earnings session there. And right now, it is still under the 21-day technically. So we'll have to see if it can eventually come through that as well. Here's a technology group for the telecom infrastructure and services. We have UI making new high here. AT&T and Charter is in downtrend, and HLIT also jumping higher. This is Ubiquity, trading very tightly here after earnings report, and a big 2-day jump here. And right now the 10-day slope has started to catch up. Look how it bounced near it, the 10-day. It didn't really touch it. And Friday we were able to make new high. And the next level of testing would be closer to this traditional buy point of the previous high. This is HLIT, LIT, Harmonic, also bouncing strong here on the earnings on Friday. However, it did close near the bottom of the range, so we'll see if it can start to find support here and start to bounce. Next, rank number 4, we're going to start looking at the industrial group here and commercial. We have Modine, MOD in the building heating products area. Here are the stocks here, IESC, Power, CSW, ACM, and NMM. Those are all still in uptrend related to building. Here's Modine Manufacturing bouncing recently with the earnings higher, and then eventually did start to pull back. Notice how it never touches the 10-day, and then we had a big bounce on Friday, making new closing high. Here's IESC holdings, also bouncing really strong since the earnings came out, and this one did pull back and touches the 10-day before closing stronger, and then on Friday we also closed at a new recent high here. Next, we have Quanta Service, symbol PWR in the construction building area. This one also report earnings and jump higher on Thursday, and Friday it followed through, but it did close a little bit lower by end of day. However, this 10-day moving average is sloping pretty strong. This is CSW in the AC heating products. This one also bouncing back slowly this week. It is now back above the red line and all the short-term moving averages. But we'll see if this can carry its momentum. This is ACOM, also in the heavy construction, also bouncing back this. It suffered a pretty big drop after the earnings, but now it's bouncing back. However, we still have some risk here. Let's give it a little bit more time and see if we can come back up here. This is MLM, Martin Marietta in the cement building area. This one also bounced nicely on Thursday, and Friday we're able to come back above the short-term moving averages. So we also see higher volume as it move back up. Next, we have rank number 6. This is in the electrical area, and we have GLBE. This is Corning making new high right here on Friday. This is after it tried to pull back to the 10-day, but it never touches it. Once again, same thing on Thursday here, and then we finally have this bounce and breakout and to new high here. Volume did come in as well. Then we have generic holdings. This one is moving up really nice. Look at how it's just moving sideways right now as the 10-day is catching up. This looks like pretty good progress. This is TTMI. It report earnings and then it kind of have a volatile session there. And we have slowly come back in this last week here, and volume has also been rising. That's a good sign. This is Vertiv Holdings making a big jump on earnings right here. Then it pull back. Notice how it never come to the 10-day line as well. This is a nice 10-day moving average slope. It's just moving sideways right now while the 10-day is catching up. This is Coherent. This one has been very volatile recently. It did bounce back this week really nice and make new high as well on higher volume. Here's FNet AVT symbol. This one also moving up nice, and then recently pulled back below the 10-day moving average, but it did close up higher on Thursday by the end of the day. And then Friday we're able to follow through again with this one close and make a new high, and also close at the top of the range. This is LFUS, LFUS, making electronic parts. This one also has been running really nice. It did recently pull back to 10-day on Thursday. It was able to bounce back from that low, and Friday make follow through day and follow through on the new high there as well. And volume has been tremendous. Next we have FN Fabrinate. This one also broke out on Friday, making new high on higher volume, so very promising. This is Amphenol APH in electronic parts area. This one has recently pulled back and then start to bounce here. So far it's been holding the 10-day. This is RBC bearings. This one also bouncing nicely on Friday. It's been trading tight after a 2-day jump on earnings right here. HUBB, this one is moving nice and slow, riding the 10-day trend, also making a new high close on Friday. This is NWEN electric symbol MBT. This one is not moving much as it's digesting right now, just trading near slightly above the 10-day. This TE connectivity also making electronic parts. This one is looking to break through this long-term trend here. It tries to break out here, but it kind of pulled back. And on Friday, we did find support. However, it comes in lower volume. This is AMEM Tech, also in the power equipment. This is also trying to bounce back on Friday after closing after trading below the 10-day moving average and intraday. And finally, in this group, we also have Trimble TRMB. This one has a huge correction. Earnings came out, trading very volatile, and then we starting to bounce recently again. But it did get rejected here at the 21-day pink line. So we'll see if this can find support here and then bounce back. Next, we have the transportation group. Last week, I think some of them did pull back quite a bit, but this week we found support for most of them. So at rank 15, we have XPO here in the logistics area. This one has come out of the long base here very nicely, and then on the earnings season, it was able to go up higher, and then it did pull back to the 10-day right here before bouncing back the next day. And from there, we're able to continue to make new high, and on Friday, we close at a high. Next, we have CXX as a railway stock here. This one also been trending nicely. It found support recently here on the 10-day, and then it continued to climb after and making new high on Friday. This is WebTap WAB, is the symbols, transportation equipment, manufacturing. This is a very nice uptrend here. It's been going up very slowly at the beginning, and then it started to accelerate, and more recently it's starting to move at a faster speed, and it did close at a new high on Friday as well. This is CH Robinson Worldwide. It did suffer a pretty big drop here. After that, it was able to slowly bounce back, and on Friday it was able to come through the short-term moving averages and close decisively at the top. So this could be good news going forward. Here's JP Hunt Transport, JBHT, also suffer a big drop here. And then it was able to bounce back. Friday was able to move really significantly. Here on Wednesday, it kind of went down lower volume and really tight. So that's all these are good signs. And finally, we have Night Swift Transport here in the truck business. This one also bouncing very strong on Friday. It's been recently just moving sideways mostly. And so this is a really good move on Friday, coming out on a new high as well. Next, in the industry area, we also have the machinery groups. We have rank 36 ESC here. KMT is currently in downtrend, but ESC right now is in uptrend. This is ESCO Technologies. Recently, it report earnings again, moving really strong up here before pulling back. Look, notice how it didn't touch the green line here as it pulled back, and then we did bounce. On Thursday, we might have come down to 10-day once more time, and this time it did touch it. And then Friday, we actually make new high again, new recent high. This is Flowserve symbol FLS. This one is also trending nicely. Recently pulled back slightly here again. Notice how it never touches the green line, and then it did bounce a little bit on Friday. Although it could be a stronger bounce, it's only 0.8%, and volume is just slightly higher. So we'll see if this can find its footing. Next, we have Train Technologies TT. This one also pulled back to the 10-day here before bouncing on Friday. volume did come in lower, so that might be not the strongest support, so we'll see how it goes. Next, we have MPO in the machinery general industrial. This one had a turbulent day on its earnings day, but it was managed to close still above the green line here, and then on Friday it tried to move, but it couldn't. So that's a little bit negative there, but it's still above the green line short-term moving average. Next, we have Dover in the machinery. This one also been moving sideways since moving up really nice, and the 10-day is down here, and so it's still trending pretty nicely. Here is PH Parker Hannifin. This one also been trending nicely, just rising above the 10-day and following that momentum. The next group did really well this week. You notice lots of highs here. We have ATI ranked 35 in the aerospace defense group here. This ATI, this one has been moving really nice, trending, just above the 10-day constantly. It did move quite significantly on Friday. Volume has been tremendous on the upside. It might start to get a little bit extended here, so we'll have to watch and see. This aerospace defense, this one also pulled back recently, found support at the 10-day before climbing really strong right here at a more than 45-degree angle. Volume has been coming in as well to support the stock. This is Air AAR Corp, also bouncing this week, moving to new high close territory. We have Carpenter Technologies, symbol CRS. This one also been a little bit turbulent, pulling back to here. From there, we were able to bounce out nicely, and again, Friday make new high. HWM also making a strong move, then pulls back to near the 10-day. Notice it didn't touch the 10-day, and then Friday we followed through. This is CW Curtiss-Wright. This one has been going on the 5 winning streaks here, 5-day winning streak, and it's following the 10-day line, making new high on Friday. Next we have Hexel HXL. This one also moved up really strong here recently, and then it did pull back really hard. It went all the way down to near the 21-day line before closing near the 10-day, and then from there we were able to bounce on Friday, so that looks good. So this industrial is definitely one of the biggest group. We have more stocks that we didn't cover, ESI, JCI here. We also have AMCR, CNNX, right? We have commercial service, OMC here, metal processing, TKR, diversified operation, GE here. We also have DD chemicals, security, that's in the downtrend. Let me see. LIN in the chemical specialty. So yeah, feel free to scan through this. There's lots of industrial stocks doing well. That's quite amazing actually. Next we have rank number 5 TPL in the oil and gas royalty trust. We don't see many commodities and energy stocks at the top 20 or so. But we're seeing a lot of gold stocks are moving, silver stocks as well, starting to move back up a little bit. So that may continue its run. We'll see. So in the oil and gas group, we have a few stocks here that are moving in uptrend. Here we have Texas Pacific Land that has been moving really strongly. I wasn't able to capture this initial move, but then we start to move sideways, and then we found support right there, and then I was able to get an entry point there, and from there it really shook up, rose a lot, and right now it's definitely extended. It went to the 500 level. So we'll have to see how the next digestion level go, because the 10-day has a way to catch up. So it most likely will pull back sooner or later. This is EQT oil and gas here. This one also breaking out nicely here, probably related to the earnings here. And then so far it's been falling through. This is the 3rd day on up day, and we are starting to come towards the previous buy point here. This is DTM Midstream, also report earnings, has a volatile there. They did follow through on Friday though, making a new high. Here's Antero Resource in the US exploration and production. It did try to come out here on Friday just a little bit. We'll see if it continue that trend or whether it get pushed back down. Next we have Expand Energy, EXE is the symbol. This one has been correcting for quite a while. Here's the 50-day and also the downtrend line here. Few times it just couldn't cross above it. We'll see if it will cross above it this time. That will be a good setup for the right side of the base. Next we have rank 21 here, also in the uptrend for DAR in the agricultural group. And you can see Darling here moving up really strongly. just riding the 10-day, staying above it. Right now it looks like it's just setting up again for a possible new high. This is looking really good. On the machinery farm, this one has pulled back recently after a strong run. So it looks pretty orderly so far. It hasn't touched the 10-day yet, but it is coming soon, so we'll see if we can find support here. Next, we have the mining group. All the mining related groups are rank 26. We have SSRM making new high here. This is SSRM mining. This one has broken out recently, and earnings really make it go up higher. And Friday it followed through to a new high. Look at the volume that's been up to the last 3 days. Next we have silver cord metals. This one also bouncing out nicely from this base here, moving up on higher volume both Thursday and Friday. And look how it jumped up close to the top of the range, up 5% on Friday. Next we have AGI here, also breaking out nicely here. This is a nice bounce Thursday and Friday. Again, volume is rising. So in this core mining here, CD is the symbol. This one also breaking out right here from a trend line. Thursday and Friday was able to find support and close at the top of the range on Friday. Here's Anglo Gold. This is symbol AU. This one also breaking out from a nice trend line. This is getting close to the previous high, closing at the top of the on Friday, and volume is quite significant. AEM here also breaking out recently. This is moving up nicely, closing at new high, looking pretty good. However, volume just a little bit lower than average, but still looks the price still looking good. Fortuna Mining symbol FSM. This one come out nicely on Friday here on really huge volume. Next we have Caterpillar. This one's trying to bounce on Thursday. However, Friday it kind of weakened by the closing. We did see it close probably near the bottom half of range. So we'll see if we can find support. It is trading very tight here around the 10-day. Next we have Freeport McMoRan. This one is also trying to come out here. Looks pretty good on Friday. So we'll see. The volume is not the strongest, but nonetheless, we'll see if this will continue. Here's Royal Gold. Royal Gold is trying to come out as well. Just closed near the top of the range, 5% on Friday. Let's see if we can keep this momentum going. Then we have OR royalties here. There's a small movement on Friday, coming back above the 10-day. It still haven't made a new recent high yet, very close, so we'll watch for that. In the next area is the energy alternative and other area related energy. We have only GEV that is in an uptrend, rank 46. Here's GEV trading very tightly after bouncing off the 10-day moving average right here. We are getting very close, trading near the highs here as well. So we'll watch for that breakout. Next we have the health industry sector here. There's some stocks here at the top, so not too bad. They're slowly bouncing back. And at rank 16 is DVA here in the outpatient home care. Here's DVA symbol DaVita here, bouncing really strong after the earnings. It pulled back slightly, not quite to the 10-day, then we bounced once again. And from there, we actually went sideways. And so far, the 10-day is slowly catching up now. So we can see if this can break out from this tight zone here. Next, we have PHC, Perhebro Animal Health. This one bounced out on earnings really strong. Then it pulled back to the 10-day. From there, we able to bounce on Thursday and Friday from the lows there. Next, we have Hinge Health. This is a newer IPO stock. This is starting to bounce back pretty strong from the bottom here on high volume, and it's looking pretty good. So next, we need to cross this red line here. It did get rejected on Friday, but sometimes it might try a couple more times before it goes through. Here's Envista holding NVST is the symbol, bouncing really strong on earnings. Now has started to pull back. Look at how it tried to hold on to the not touching the green line, the 10-day moving average. Friday was able to also bounce off near it and make a pretty decent close here at the top range. This is Ensign Group also bouncing on earnings really strong, pulling back recently as well. Found support on Friday, although volume is slightly lower. Next, we have Royalty Pharma in the biotech area. This one has been running really nice, making a new high here before pulling back. Look at the pullback, very tight, very orderly. On Friday, it also found support. Look at the volume on the downside; it's almost very low. compared to the up days. So this is definitely worth tracking this. Here's McKesson in the wholesale drug supply. This one jumped up really strong earnings before pulling back. From there, we're able to bounce back so far. We found support near the 10-day on Thursday as well as on Friday. Trading very tightly right now, so we want to see this move up and breaking out from that area. Next, we have INSMAT. INSM is the symbol, bouncing very strong on Thursday after the earnings result. Came through this resistance level here. Right now, we are climbing from Thursday and Friday, falling through. We are getting close to that 200-day line here. And the red line, the red line, which is the 50-day, 50-day here. So we want to see if we can break through that. Very strong move though. Here's LabCorp Holdings medical service area. This one also had a volatile day on the earnings, but we're able to bounce back from there. And right now we are crossing back above the short-term moving average on high volume here. So that looks pretty good. We also have Cardinal Health here, CAH, bouncing back above the 10-day, but not moving much, just sitting near that 10-day line. The same thing goes with Cencora, also not moving much, trading really tight. This is very tight action. So usually that is considered positive. This is ResMed RMD in the medical products group, also trading very tight near the short-term moving average. Again, we need to see that big decisive move, and that'll be a good entry point. Feel free to look at other ones. We have SND here, ABT, ISRG, DSCM, RPRX, and we also have SYK. Next group we have is financial stocks. In this group, there's a lot of downtrend stocks. Unfortunately, a lot of them have weakened. We do see some few stocks that are showing strength here, like SSI, SII, XP, and GPN. Those are all making new highs. We have Sprott here, SII, in the finance investment management area. This one came out with earnings, it did really well, and then it followed through right there. Almost, yeah, I think this is probably a new high right here, very close to a new high. So on really high volume, so that's worth watching. This has a nice uptrend before, so we'll see if this can do the similar thing here. Obviously, it looked a little bit extended, so let's wait for another proper entry point. If it does break out, it will be very extended. So there's a a cautious there if you want to enter this late. But let's see how that goes. Next we have Remily Global, RELY is the symbol. This one also pushed a lot higher after the earnings came out. Really big move there. And then Friday it didn't give up much. Actually, it went up slightly by the end of the day. So that is another strength here. This is probably sloping up very strong right now. Again, there's a 200-day black line here, being the resistance level. Let's see if we can cross through this and hold up there. Next, we also have XP in the investment banker broker making a nice breakout right here on Thursday, and it followed through very strongly on Friday. Definitely worth watching this one as well if you miss it. Next, we also have global payments doing really well, also breaking out from this long-term trend line. This is a high volume on the earnings here. On Thursday, it didn't give up much, so that's really good. And then on Friday, we followed through on a new high and just very slightly higher volume. Next, we have TW Tradeweb Markets. This one has also been performing really well since its earnings results here. So on Friday, it was able to also close near new high, recent high here. So that looks really good. Again, we see the black line coming down. That could be a rejection area. Let's see if we can cross above that. Next, we have EQIX in the REIT area. This one has also moved significantly here on this day, but it did pull back. Friday is trying to find support at this moment. Next, we have rank 89. We have the banks here, regional banks mostly. This is PBOB, pulled back recently. Friday, it did also try to test the low here under the 10-day, but it was quickly able to rebound back, and look where it is. It is almost near new high again. Next, we have IFS here, Intercorp Financial Service. This one also recently pulled back below the 21-day line before bouncing back. Right now, it's above the 10-day, so that's good progress. Next, we have SFBS here, Service First Bank Shares. This one has been consolidating really nice here. Thursday it fell below the 10-day, but and touched the 21-day pink line, and then bounced back by end of day. And then Friday we were able to continue on that bounce. So we'll see if we can start to build a momentum here. Here we have Bank of Hawaii, symbol BOH, also bouncing nicely on Friday, making a new recent closing high. So that looks pretty good as well. Here's Bank Northeast NB Bancorp, NBBK is the symbol. This one is a little bit choppy, but it did bounce on Friday and on higher volume. So maybe this could work this time. Yeah, so feel free to look at other stocks here that we didn't cover, that are in uptrend as well, in other areas. Yeah. The final sector we can look at is the retail. We also seeing some stocks here moving on uptrend, and some of them making new highs on Friday. So the first group we'll look at is the leisure service area and travel area. So we have Luck here at rank 32. So this is Lucky Strike. It is bouncing very nice here. Very strong trend there. It is currently at the red line 50-day. So it is having a little bit of trouble trying to get out there. My guess is if it does, it will go to the black line pretty fast. And then there we might see another challenge here. So this is Lucky Strike. Here we have OSW Once Power Holdings. This one a little bit choppy. However, we did have a nice recent move here, like 7 sessions up, before having a tumbling session on their earnings day. But it was able to close at the upper range. But Thursday and Friday, it didn't follow through on that, so that's the only problem. It's still testing the lows here. So we'll see what happens next. Here's RSI. This one is trading below the trend line recently, and then the earnings kind of push it up higher. But it did come back and test the lows here again. Friday, it didn't have the power to follow through, so it closed a little bit down. Yeah, so I think this one requires more patience. So let's see what happened next. This is ABNB also breaking the recent downtrend line, although it didn't. I mean, the recent volume is higher, so that's a good thing. Trading very tight is also another good thing. We are near the resistance line, both 50-day red line and the 200-day moving average black line is right there. Here's TNL. This one has been looking pretty good. I like this chart pattern, very tight base. It tried to come out on earnings there, but it pulled back. So far, Thursday and Friday, it's testing the lows here, but it's still trading very tight, orderly. It did close at the top on Friday. Let's see if it can fall through and move with a bigger bounce here. Next, we have Warner Music Group. This one also trending still lower here. Friday is trying to move back above it. It's just a little bit high there. We'll have to see. And also last time it was rejected after breakout there as well. Next little group here, we have the auto-related business there, Rush, RUSHA. This is rank 43, making a new high here. So this has been looking really good. Look at this bounce, pull back to 10-day. Look at this bounce, pull back to the 10-day. And right now it's moving once again. Volume is really high on those up days as well. This is CPS Cooper Standard, bouncing really strong on earnings, breaking out. However, it has 2 volatile days after and pulling back all the way to the 10-day, and it is currently rebounding very little, 0.5% on Friday. So it's not very convincing yet, this bounce. So let's see. Here's Ford, also recently reported and then pulled back after Friday. It did make a bounce, 1.6%. Let's see how that will continue or not. Next group, we have food related. We have USFD here, rank 49. This is US food holding here, bouncing out really strong on earnings. So from there, we actually pulling back. We haven't seen a nice bounce yet on Friday, even though it came in higher volume, but it didn't really close near the top and also make a new high, higher high than the day before. This is Chef Warehouse trying to break out on a traditional buy point here. So far, it's been able to hold, but I would like to see better action, especially considering the market is strong, close pretty good this week. But relative strength do show is rising here though, so that's good as well. We have Unilever food package. and it did jump here, rise nicely here before pulling back. Now Friday we did find support, so that's a good thing. Next we have two beverage stocks, Coca-Cola and Bud here. Here's Coca-Cola breaking out very nicely here on the earnings report. It was able to follow through. Next is Anheuser-Busch. This one also trending really nice. It is pulling back right now, so this one is a little bit weaker, but it's still trading above the 10-day moving average here. So we also have other stocks here like MYT, Boot, ECL, SN, Shot Ninja there, MCD, Yum Restaurants here, and Predo in the service education. Feel free to look through that. So in closing, we have, still around 40% of stocks that are moving in uptrend. So again, we see a lot of technology stocks still leading at the top here, which is again very surprising considering the Nasdaq is the weakest. But we also have industrials also moving nicely, as lots of the components in that area. We are seeing some commodities, bouncing back. Energy continue to show strong movement, although we don't have many oil and gas showing up on my list. But behind the scene, it is working very well. So we'll see how this coming week turns out to be. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate that.